Welcome to another episode of Movie Torture, where we watch bad movies so you don't have to. As always, you have me, Jacob, our number one and owner of the Hopecast Network, Brad, and we have two special guests with us today, Laura and Minnesota Gary, aka Troy. What's up,
Hello.
everybody?
I mean,
Welcome.
Jacob, you have again for two times in a row
And
forgot
MTV.
MTD.
And MTV.
MTD, is he falling on your favorites list? Please, he's got to be beneath me because I never forget you.
Here's the thing. I see more of MTD, not C, but because I'm reading his books, I'm always got MTD on the mind.
You are his book reader.
Oh,
He
and
said-
by the way, real quick, I should mention we watched Snow White. Question mark?
Oh, there
He
was no
said he
question
loves
about
it
it.
best.
We watched it.
You are the best MTD.
So we decided to do an emergency episode on Snow White, which I gotta say, sleepy is needed because it is down to a 1.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It is beneath Popeye the Slayer Man.
Oh,
Which I do want to see.
It is beneath Cocaine Shark.
Oh,
It
that's
is
too bad.
beneath Sharkula.
This movie, for being that low, has gotten so much media buzz, all of the stuff. You would think it was a popular movie for how much coverage this movie gets.
yeah.
Yeah, Sharkula right now has a 2.0 on IMDb.
Okay. You know what else is probably better? That's got a better rating?
Joker
Trolls
2.
2. Trolls 2.
Oh, I'm gonna look. Troll 2 has a 3.0. I mean,
Look
that's
at
like
that.
a point and a half higher. What is Cocaine Shark? That's the Cocaine Shark is a 1.8. So it barely beats Snow White. But the budget
Wow.
on Cocaine Shark, I mean, they recorded this on a flip phone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jacob,
Where this is. Yeah, go ahead.
have you had to watch any of the Polonia Brothers movies yet on Movie Torture? The Polonia Brothers made Cocaine Shark. They make Sharkula. Have you watched it? I don't think you've watched the Polonia Brothers movie yet.
I have watched Cocaine Shark just because at then I was a listener before I was promoted to
Oh,
host. I did watch it, but I did not do it on the podcast.
okay. We're gonna need to do another. We need to do another Polonia Brothers to really break you. Well, you've been broken in, but we got to break Minnesota Gary in, right? Like
That's
he's
true.
got to get. We got to break him.
All right.
And Laura. Laura,
No, thank
she's
you.
never seen the Polonia Brothers. Laura, why don't you come
Hard
over and we'll have a
pass.
Polonia Brothers?
Party? No thanks.
We do got to get her on some garbage movies.
No
We
thanks.
do. I love how Laura told MTD to calm down. Jacob's hers. Jacob
Just
wants to be
saying.
mine. He's mine.
He's confessing his love. I just wanted to make that clear.
I have to say,
Whose biography does he read? Yours or mine?
He
speaking of
doesn't want to read
biographies-
mine.
Speaking of biographies, I have to say, I'm pretty excited for this upcoming week because I've been looking forward to this chapter. Just a quick preview, get people excited. It's the Half Loaf Revolution coming up.
Ooh, the origins of the
So the
half
Half
loaf.
Loaf.
Which, if
Wow.
you have not heard the half loaf, you can hear that on the Clifford episode.
That is
Which
true.
Worst
classic
movie.
episode.
Worst
Clifford
movie.
is so good. It is so,
So
good.
bad.
MTD flew up here just to watch it with me.
He did.
Waste of
wanted-
money.
He was like, "I'll fly up there just to watch it with you, boy." And he did.
Wow.
He said, "I love that movie." He did. It was so funny. The women in
Ugh.
our house didn't like it though. They were like, "This
No.
is so stupid."
And I like
Anyway.
stupid movies, but that was bad.
Anyways,
I haven't done a recap. Give me do a really. I haven't done a synopsis in a while. I feel like I've just.
I was thinking about that, and we haven't. And I miss hearing the Brad 1 minute synopsis of movies.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you this synopsis of Snow
Oh
White.
no!
Oh boy.
Hold your horses,
Buckle
buckle
up!
your seats.
Buckle your seats.
Woke social justice warrior Snow White is recruited by George Soros to do some fun things. She ends up in the basement of hot Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman keeps her away because Wonder Woman says she wants the beauty of woke social justice, short haired. I mean, she just needed a purple streak in her hair and she would have been complete. And then she ends up escaping. Oh, no. They bring her out. The huntsman takes her out to kill her. He looks at her face and says, I'd rather not kill you. Run. She ends up with some, I want to say, homosexual dwarves, possibly. And she hangs out but makes them do all the work. And then meets another guy who has his 7 dwarves, who has an actual dwarf. And they end up going, and she gets the town. She does the most communistic thing. She gets the town to take over, and she's going to provide to everybody because she is Snow White, the social justice warrior. She lives happily ever after, not with the prince, most likely with a woman.
Not sure which version you went to go see, but
The good
that
one.
sounds interesting.
I like the part when the guy has the dwarves and Troy looks at me and he goes, "There's an actual dwarf."
I know. They needed 6 more and it had been complete.
That was probably, not to jump all over the movie here, but we're going to probably end up doing that anyways. That's probably one of the only funny lines that I was like, and when I say funny, I'm talking about I was like, huh.
A mild chuckle.
He was like, "I am the master of the crossbow," and they're like, "That's not a crossbow." And he sold him the slingshot. My crossbow was stolen.
I don't even remember that. What was I doing in that part? I don't even remember.
Sleeping.
Okay, so let's tell the listeners, you and Laura drove an hour and 6 minutes to see this movie.
Get it right. It was an hour 16.
Hour 16. MTD, they drove
We
an hour
did.
16. My wife and I and Max met Troy at the theater. We drove 45 seconds, I think, at the most.
I drove 20 minutes.
Troy drove 20 minutes. That's a long 20-minute drive back,
Yeah, I
Troy.
know.
Okay, but here's the thing. Well, actually, if we want to get technical, MTD, there's 2 theaters nearby.
We drove past several.
we drove past 2 theaters. I'm bougie when it comes to theaters. If I'm going to have to sit through a good movie or potentially crapper movie, we don't know yet. We will find out later in this episode. I want to sit comfortably, and I want to be comfortable. I want a chair that heats. Listen here. This is a theater you went to. Let me tell you our experience. You went to a theater that had no rocking chairs, just plain old style movie chairs, correct?
Yes.
Our chairs had reclining seats, the reclining chairs, heated with, you could adjust your headrest.
Little table that swung out.
We had a table.
70-foot screen. A 70-foot screen.
Okay. I want to stop you. I gotta say, Minnesota Gary, you and I, if we had recliner seats and my wife had, I know my wife would be sleeping. It would not take.
100%.
Sleeping.
You would be.
Oh yeah.
I would have been. I think our whole row. Max almost fell asleep on me. I feel like our whole row would have been out in this movie. Then we'd just be sitting here talking about something we didn't even see. I actually fell asleep. Hi ho, it's off to sleep we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
How many people were in your theater, though, watching this movie,
What'd you say
besides you 4?
Would you say about 20?
Yeah,
Minnesota
I'd
Gary?
say 20. There's a lot of little kids, so.
Yeah, but they
I
were
would
actually
hope
quiet.
so.
But here's the thing, Gary, when you go to the movies and it's a good kids movie, the kids are usually like, ah, ah. There was no. I didn't even realize the kids were in there once the movie started. Did you? Like they
No.
weren't bothering anybody.
No, I was blinded by your light on your phone.
Oh, I kept looking at my phone. I was so bored, man. I was
Oh
like,
no.
It was the same in our theater. There was a lot of
Yeah.
kids, but they were very quiet. Like there was no laughing, no.
I think
The
even
only-
the kids think it sucks.
The only time the kids were excited was when they saw the hedgehog. At the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, there's a little
Yeah.
hedgehog sleeping on the book.
Yeah.
And they were like crazy about the hedgehog, but they didn't care about the movie. No
Okay.
laughs were had.
Why did
I
they
think-
drop the Seven Dwarfs? They should have still called this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
They were not a part of the story, though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's
They could've
her
added-
story.
It's her story. I think the first thing we got to really hit on this, because it's an important piece, is you have Gal Gadot, who is hands down just
Is it Godot or Godot? Because Ashley, our resident Jewish
it wrong.
person, says Godot. I don't know. Is
Well-
that
she's probably correct.
because
she's
Gal
probably
Gadot
correct.
is Jewish? I don't know. MTD, is
But
it Godot or Godot? He'll just have to
She
win.
is she is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And then I can't remember Snow White's character's name. I'm sorry.
Rachel Zegler.
Zegler. There's no way Gal is going to a mirror asking who's fairer than her and especially against up Snow White. It ain't happening.
Gal is the fairest of them all. Yes. She is the most beautiful woman on this planet. Like, she's
She's-
gorgeous.
She is probably on a 10 scale, an easy 9.5.
Yes.
I'm not going to give her a 10. She's not perfect. But I'm going to give her a 9.5, which is high. I don't think I've ever dished out a 9.5 on this show.
So just a weird casting there.
I'm going to
A
say
lot.
Clay Travis said this, and I agree with him. I feel like had they, and TD says she's pretty perfect. I'd trade her. I'd trade her. If she was failing you in school, Brad, I'd get you some good grades. Clay Travis said if they would have cast Sydney Sweeney, this movie would have $1 billion movie. I kind of
Oh, yeah.
agree with him because people like Sydney Sweeney. She's not like a social justice, clueless kind of way, right? What do you think, Laura?
So they're casting for the single dad audience. They're like, the single dads will bring them in.
MTD says Sydney Sweeney's an 11.
Oh yeah.
Kids, we're seeing Snow White again, Dad. It's my weekend. We're doing Snow White.
Sweeney
Wow.
broke the scale. My scale's named Sweeney. I'm not a huge. Okay, I will say I don't really like Sydney Sweeney that much. I don't think she can act her way out of a bag. I don't think she's that good. I wouldn't like make Natalie Portman or somebody like that be the queen.
Yeah. I mean, because here's the thing, like Snow White, who plays Snow White, she did not do bad. Like in the movie, she did not do bad. I will give it that. It's all the stuff she did outside the movie that tainted the
Yeah.
movie and her image and all that, because her actual acting in the movie wasn't bad.
Well, Rachel Zegler was pretty popular. I mean, she's coming off of West Side Story. She's coming off of The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Like, she was coming off of some pretty good movies. So, and she's a good singer.
She's peaked, right, Laura? She peaked, right?
I don't know where her career is going to go after this debacle.
I think it's over. I think it's
She
over.
But she had some really good things going for her, and she kind of just stepped in it because she was cast out of high school for West Side Story. It's not like she had a lot of training on how to, be a professional. She's still a kid. But yeah, they kind of failed her.
I don't even know what Sydney in reality is. MTD.
He's just saying in real life she's great.
Is that what
He's
he's saying?
stalking her.
He's like, I had her in real life. She's a great.
I'm outside her window. She's pretty great.
A movie she did. Oh, I don't remember that. Okay, I will say this. I feel like Rachel Zegler can save her career if she comes out humble and says, I really made a few mistakes that I probably shouldn't have done. But I don't know if she's hireable. Like, are you going to hire her? It's almost like Jacob, the, what's his name? The guy that's the Flash.
Ezra
Yeah.
Miller.
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
It's in,
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
It's in the she's in the Ezra Miller category minus the grooming of young boys that Ezra was doing. I mean, she wasn't doing anything illegal, but you can't put $300 million into a film and expect her to stay quiet because she just feels like she doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who would be interested in taking her film or something, now you are taking on, or they're going to take on a perceived added risk, right? They're always going to be worried: is she going to go social media crazy? Is she going to so a lot of people will shy away from that just because they don't even want to deal with it.
She could get a job on MSNBC. I think they would probably let her do some reporting.
She can have a YouTube channel. I mean, what kid actor is really doing good? I think it's a generational thing where they just have access to, they have a platform and they're going to say whatever the crap they want without really thinking about the repercussions.
Yeah, well, that's
Who's doing it good? Yeah,
I'm trying
no
to
one's
think
doing it.
who's doing it good. Minnesota Gary, I mean, well, Sydney Sweeney, she can't be much older, right? How old is Sydney?
Rachel Zegler's 23.
Okay, how old is Sydney Sweeney? She can't be that old.
But she was also on a television series. So I mean, they probably did a lot of
She's
press
28.
and coaching. Yeah. So
Well, I saw that Steven Spielberg recommended Rachel Zegler for Snow White to Disney. He was like,
Really?
she's incredible. Because she was in
she's
West
a
Side
wonderful
Story.
singer. She did wonderful in that part. She was a highlight of that. But yeah.
We were watching a clip of her getting interviewed. My wife looked at me and she goes, that girl's a little much, right? Because she's just...
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, I don't want to hear her. She's annoying.
She's cast in a Steven Spielberg movie right out of high school. Who wouldn't be full of themselves? Is she a product of her,
But
environment,
let's say Gal Gadot is not friends with Rachel Zegler. They do not like.
No.
They do not like each other. I
not
mean,
after her comments.
One is pro Hamas and one is Israeli. So you've got
Yeah.
Yeah,
this thing going on.
tension.
I don't understand why actors want us to. Why do they think we care about their political opinions? I could care
Because-
less.
But the problem is we I'm with you. I'm on the same boat. I could care less, but many people idolize these actresses and actors, so they now feel they have this almost kind of I wouldn't say God complex, but they can say what they will and people will follow them because they're big time celebrities. People it's a celebrity syndrome. People just eat it up.
Well, we're here talking about it.
I would rather have seen Zendaya. How do you say, is that Zendaya?
Who's Zendaya?
I'd rather
Zendaya.
seen her as Snow White. She's been a teen. She started young and she's not been stupid.
She's a Disney kid, though. She's a Disney Channel
She's
kid.
a Disney kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, she should be weird, right?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, but
Yes.
The fact that she's not, I think this girl just doesn't have. She's out of touch with reality. When you're filming yourself
Yeah.
laughing and cheering your name on the screen in an empty theater, you look pathetic. That's like us cheering because we have MTD listening. I mean,
I'd do it. I'd be excited, but yeah.
I mean,
it's
I would
pretty
be
weird.
excited at my house with celebrating. I don't think I wouldn't post it. I might cheer it by myself, but I wouldn't post it. That's the problem.
Well, yeah. What are we sure we've confirmed that she didn't rent the theater out for a private viewing?
Oh my! She probably did because she said, "I'm going to make sure this movie makes a little more
Or
money."
she's just 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, no one will be there. It's a private viewing.
That's still weird,
Now-
regardless.
Would it be
Yeah.
weird if you're in the movies and you see Rachel Zegler sitting down there watching herself?
No,
I would think that's kind of
sweet.
cool. I'd get on there and introduce myself to her.
Yeah, I would too.
You suck. That-
No, but that's the thing. We said she did not suck in the movie. The movie.
She said,
No.
y'all should cheer for me. Oh, and she did say that. People will get in line to see her in that last speech she made on TikTok where she was crying. But she's still out of touch with what's really going on here. She is damaged her brand. I don't know if it's salvageable. I really don't. I don't think it is.
Like, because at this point, like, Disney's not ever bringing her back. Like, they
Heck
spent
no.
with advertising, all that, $659 million dumped into this movie, and there's no way this movie is making that up. They lost so much money on this movie.
She's not working with those producers again. And Mark Platt, I mean, he's a big name, so to be on his bad side.
We say that though, but I think I read a report where Chuck, who's the guy that created Big Bang Theory? Chuck Lorre, is that his name?
Chuck Lorre.
Yeah.
Chuck Lorre has considered working with Charlie Sheen again, and you would think that would have been lit up. Like, if he's willing to go back to Charlie Sheen, I think
Charlie Sheen was a big name before. This is Rachel Zegler. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
Named 3 movies she's been in. Come on now.
She was in Shazam, and she's like,
Yeah.
I needed a job. I just needed a job. She's not even grateful for Shazam. She's
Well,
like,
Charlie Sheen's like 40 on drugs. It's like, yeah, he's okay. People pay to see him. Like,
It's like Jacob. Why are you on Movie Torture? I need a job, okay? I don't even want to do any other show. This is what I do. I don't care. You know what I mean?
I'm a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster. It's like you're ungrateful. Yeah. Like I like people that are just appreciative of where they're at and what they have. And she had something most actresses would die for: a chance to put on that Snow White gown. And she took a dump in it and was like, I don't want to be that Snow White. Well, then don't
Not
sign
in
up
the
for
movie.
it.
Not in the movie. I mean,
But don't sign up for it. If you don't want to be
Yeah.
Snow White, don't sign up for it. There's
Yeah.
other people that could do it.
I could
You
do
know?
it.
Well, you know who could have played Snow
we
White?
don't want to see you do it.
She has. I'll tell you who could have played Snow White too. She has very fair skin. Is that Chloe Grace Moretz, who she could play it.
From
Put a little dark.
Ghostbusters?
Put her in dark hair. That girl could. No, the girl that was in what's she been in? Chloe.
Oh, Kick-Ass?
Yeah, her. She could have been in this movie and played Snow White. Put some black hair on her. I think she would have been fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have put her. You just need someone. I mean, you just need someone.
Emma Stone out. Let's throw her in it. Why not?
Who?
Emma Stone.
Oh my gosh. I'm Emma Stone. I like this. She's so dramatic. Is this where I take my top off? No, this is Snow White, Emma. No, keep it on. Please.
Wrong movie.
Wrong movie, Emma.
It's on a different site.
So I think I read an article where somebody was watching her movie on the plane, and her movie came up on the plane, and it was like they couldn't turn it off. Like the plane could not turn it off, and her movie has like so much nudity in it, and it just don't like all the TVs on the plane, and they couldn't turn it off. MTD, you remember this story? That's why I was like, wrong movie, Emma. You get please keep the dress on, Emma. No, you can't date them. You can't date a dwarf. They're CGI.
So Snow White.
Yeah, back to Snow White. So she catches a dude stealing taters.
Taters.
That was a lot of potatoes.
Get me some of them French fry potatoes. Gary, what are you thinking when this dude's stealing taters?
I mean, he hungry.
Is Gary that quiet? MG, can you hear me? Is he sleeping on the job or what?
I'm here.
What were you thinking when homeboy was taking taters and she just watches him? Like, she just like, what are you
I don't
doing?
know.
Exactly.
Flabbergasted, maybe, you know? Like, who would be taking all these taters?
Well, he must be hungry.
That's a lot of potatoes.
Yeah, and then they end up like chaining him to the fence.
They
And,
do.
and she
They just tie him. They just tie him with rope. Like he's
With
not
one
going to
knife.
escape.
I mean, he literally escapes from a bolt at like to cement, like bolted in at the
Okay,
end of the
Later
movie.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Can we pause there for a moment? Are me and Laura the only one in this? Okay, so it was okay. First of all, it was the huntsman. Okay, the black guy. So he goes and he tries to kill Snow White, but does this weird screaming like, "No, I can't do it." So he's in the dungeon. This dude goes in the dungeon, and for a split second, me and Laura talked about this after the movie. We both had the same thought. At first, I thought he left the black guy in the dungeon, like he got himself out. It was like, "Peace out, homie, I'm gone."
Well, who would win in a huntsman fight? Would the huntsman win again? I think the huntsman's stronger than that guy.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, but they free him, and then all of a sudden they don't show them freeing the black guy. He just starts like rowing out of the boat, and I'm like, wait, did he just leave the other guy chained up in the?
I think they should have
Took a
cast
while.
Hemsworth as the huntsman in this movie.
They should have.
He could have been the prince. That would have been if he was the prince.
No.
They didn't
No.
want the prince.
No. Because Snow White's supposed to be like a teenager, and this guy is in his mid-30s and looked every bit of it. It looked like a high school teacher romancing his student. It was the creepiest. Like I was like, no, Snow White, no.
It was
No.
like he was. It was like he was going to hand her a scream mask.
Oh,
Well,
no.
I'm like, her father came back.
Minnesota
and-
Gary, get that joke.
Yeah.
What was creepy was those dwarves. Those AI dwarves were creepy.
We're jumping all over the place.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so where are we at, Laura?
Okay, so
She's
he
what?
gets chained up. He gets chained up for stealing the potatoes. Snow White lets him go. He runs off. Everything's good in the world. And then the huntsman is told, which I thought was strange that the black guy in the court is the one who's told to go kill this child. I thought that was strange.
Well, doesn't she have magical powers? Can't she just like zap her down or something?
She can.
I get it's not really explained.
Well,
Of
first,
all the things that they went into, explaining
huntsman-
the queen's powers
she goes
wasn't
to
one
the
of them.
mirror again, and the mirror's like, "Oh, Snow White's much prettier than you, Gal Gadot. Get over it." And that's when she sends the huntsman. Is like, "I want you to kill her. Not only are you going to kill her, you're going to cut out her heart and put it in this box."
Terrifying for a child's movie.
Yeah, it is. I wanted like Maury to show up when the mirror said, "You are not the," and go, "That is a lie." The detective says, "You are the prettiest."
The
You are
fairest.
father.
I think the mirror was switching definitions of fair because at first it was like pretty and that's Gal Gadot, and then he's like, "No, fair. I mean, just yeah, it's Snow White, not you."
What is okay? Fair in the original is she's got the fairest skin, right? Like she's the
Correct.
white. But I don't understand.
No,
fair.
it's not. Who's the whitest in the kingdom? You think is what she was asking? The mirror?
In the original, yes.
No, who's the whitest?
Yes.
Who's the? No, she's not asking.
Jacob,
Who's
I think
the
that's
whitest?
it.
Laura, hold on and listen. He says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of all?" And he says, "The Snow White is the fairest skinned of all."
No.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think
No,
you're
he doesn't
talking
say.
about.
He doesn't say fairest skinned because that's pretty messed up. She's
Not
going to a
skinned.
mirror. Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. She's not going up to the mirror saying who's the whitest in the land. Like that's ridiculous. She means pretty.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the whitest cast member of movie torture of them all?
That's me. That's me right here.
Minnesota?
No.
I don't
Oh!
get my son.
Jacob,
No,
go
fair,
find
like
Minnesota
pretty.
Gary, chop his heart out, put it in the box.
I want to be the palest in the land. No,
I
that's
think
not
he's
what.
talking about skin color. I really do.
You guys are insane.
I don't. I think he is.
No. No.
I think he
Anywho.
is. What's Jacob looking up?
He's looking up the definition of fair.
No, that's not what I'm doing. Okay,
Oh.
here we go.
What is it, Jacob? This is riveting pod right now. People are like,
I'm not finding what I want, so we'll get there when I get it.
I think MTD. Is Laura right or Laura wrong? I think they're talking about fairest. Who is, because at the beginning they go, she is white as the snow and
Correct.
the fairest skin of all. They say that about Snow White at the beginning.
Yes, they do.
That's why everybody's up in arms that Rachel Zegler, who looks Hispanic, or He says, "What else could it be?" I'm with him. Like, what else could it be?
So
Laura, think about the original Queen. Think about the original. She was very white in the movie, a white painted face. She wanted to be white.
So we're thinking a Germanic fairy tale, like they wouldn't be white. I don't know where Snow White's from.
No,
I want to say
Snow
Germany.
White.
Okay. Here it goes. Conversation with the mirror. What wouldst thou know, my queen? Queen, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of all? The mirror goes, famed is thy beauty, majesty, behold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. Alas, she is more fair than thee. And the queen goes, alas for her, reveal her name. And the magic mirror goes, lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow.
But he's not saying, and by snow I meant fair. That is the implication.
That's what fair
here.
skin is. White skin is fair, right? You're fair skinned.
Yes.
I think this movie is based on who wants to be the whitest.
Whitey.
It's the name Snow White. They want you to be white.
No.
So she sends the black consummate killer. She's like, go chop this white girl's heart out and bring it back to me. What did he put in that box? Did he put like a deer?
apple?
Oh, he put an apple?
Put an apple.
Yeah, he did put an
Yeah.
apple.
In the
Why?
Disney, he put in a deer heart.
I thought I did think that was Bambi that showed up. By the way, I
It
looked
did.
at Max. I go, "That's Bambi." It's like I love how I see online that Disney's making a Bambi movie and it shows a goat, a black goat. It's so funny.
That was the best part of the movie was when she got down there to the animals and then like the chipmunk thing is knocking on the turtle and the turtle comes out and he's like, huh?
The
Oh, that was
dopey
my favorite
turtle.
part when she got when they go like
That's
knocking. Gary liked
Yeah.
that too. You're like, that's pretty funny.
So like Snow White
And then
tumbles.
it turned white or light out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was like pitch black, and then all of a sudden, boom, glowing. It was white, light out.
Well, I think what would have been really cool about this movie is if they did a Wizard of Oz thing where you start out the first 20 minutes of the movie and it's like gray looking and not colorful. And then when she falls into the well or wherever she falls into that pit into the water, when she comes up into Dwarf World, it's very colorful and vibrant. I think that would have been really cool. Like in this world is amazing. And I don't understand. She acted like her dad was like, that's a faraway world, but it looks to me like the guy that's chained to the fence with a rope can travel there and back fairly quick. Like, how would she never know about the dwarves? Ever.
Right.
So you think the plot of this should have been the plot of Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Boom.
Oh, okay.
Look,
Got it.
MTD. Google says Ferris means a pale complexion.
I understand, but there's also I hate to break it to you, but words mean different things.
In 1937, that's
Laura,
what it meant. I'm telling you right now.
Laura, Jacob, Minnesota Gary, MTD, and I bring you on to agree with us, not go against us.
I'm the voice of reason.
No.
As a
We're
pale girl.
we're a very biased podcast where you have to just say, yes, that sounds right, sir. Don't do that.
Yes.
Laura was going to bring up a funny point is like when she falls in the water and comes out, what's wrong with that, Laura? What don't you like about it?
So she's soaking wet. Her hair's dripping like she just got out of the shower or something. A deer comes up and she pulls out this piece of bread that is perfectly dry. Like, where was this bread? Where was this bread hidden? I don't want to know.
Mushy bread is not good. Either,
I didn't
by the
see pockets on that dress, so I'm like,
pocket.
where'd this bread come from that
Laura,
she's given the steer?
way. Mushy bread is not good. I don't like mushy
No.
bread.
No.
It would have been so good if the deer spit it out. I was like,
She had a half loaf.
The deer
deer
just
was
tears her to shreds.
the deer was like, she's single. Give her a half loaf.
She did. It was just a
You know what's
broken piece of
funny?
bread.
She presents the deer a half loaf. Okay.
Oh,
It was-
MTD just sent me something. He texted it, and I agree. It says, in the context of Snow White, fairest means most beautiful, particularly with a pale complexion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that definition, but it's not the whitest of the land. What is this
Jacob-
like? Well, it is a German tale, I guess.
Yeah, let's give Laura what I always hate when I hear when this happens. Let's just agree to disagree. I hate when somebody says that. It's like, I don't want to disagree with you. Let's just.
I feel they came after our half loaf idea because think about this: she presents the deer with the half loaf, and
She
what's the next thing that happens?
The deer hooks up.
Come follow me.
Yeah.
Put to 7 single bachelors.
Single
He takes her to 7 single bachelors. But I want to know why the dress stays clean the whole time. Like,
the whole time.
the whole time. You never see like mud stains on the yellow. I mean, she has not showered in this. I mean, she ain't taking a shower in the dwarf's house because it's got to be a small shower. She's sitting down in the shower at that point, right?
Yeah.
What's the toilet situation in the dwarf's house? I mean, where are they crapping at? I want to know this. I mean, outside. So you're telling me Rachel Zegler is going out, raising up that yellow dress and taking a dump outside.
She's putting a hand on the 4-wheeler.
She's pulling a hand
It's
on the
yellow.
floor. Laura, did you not think it's weird that the yellow stayed nice and yellow? Because if I have a yellow shirt, I inevitably always get a stain on it. It happens all the time.
No,
After
Brad,
the-
as this is
mud.
not a documentary. It is a magical movie. I wasn't like, this seems historically inaccurate.
It does to me. I was like, man.
How dare they?
I mean, we're coming off the heels of Life Stinks, where Mel Brooks's clothes are filthy after 1 hour on the streets of Los Angeles.
1 hour. It was like 4 minutes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like 4
that's
minutes. He's looking like a vagrant, and she's like down in dwarf world, and she looks perfectly clean.
100%.
Yeah, they should have
Yeah.
made her look rough. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they should have done. But anyway, she shows up at this dwarf house, and
Yes.
these beds are so close together. I mean, they are packed in. These guys are definitely cuddling. They have to be.
Who's the big spoon?
And I wouldn't want to be in the middle. Like, you're the middle guy. Like, who gets the middle? I don't even think Dopey was stuck in the middle.
No, he was on the
It
end.
smell like farts.
The end would be the best spot, right, Minnesota Gary?
Yeah.
I choose middle.
You would. Whoa, whoa.
Podcast over and good day. This was me, Laura.
And that was the last episode with Minnesota Gary. MTD, are you choosing middle or end of the bed? Like, I feel like if you got a bunch of dudes in the bed, I want to be on the end. I don't want to be in the middle of dudes.
So can we call him Middle Soda Gary?
middle soda Gary. I kind of like that too. Middle soda Gary. You like? Why do you want to be in the middle of dudes?
It'd be the warmest. That's all I care about.
It would be the
Phrase.
warmest. You're right. It would be the warmest. I give you
He doesn't
that.
have a blanket. The other dwarves do.
Yeah.
Do you think these guys sing "Hi Ho" the whole time they're working every day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god!
That's how they know how long they have to work. Is when the song's over. It's time to go.
All they gotta do is one song for the mind, and they're done. Hi
Yep.
ho, hi ho! It's off to work we go.
I loved the original Hi Ho, and this version was terrible. I couldn't
Well, it was
understand a
terrible.
word they were saying. Like I hated it. Just it was awful.
Yeah, I don't understand. I told you today, I don't remember any song from this movie except "Hi Ho" and what's the other one?
The weird whistle while you work, but they
Whistle
made
while you work.
The classic songs.
Were
Yeah,
there any
but that's the-
songs from the first one besides those two?
It was just those two.
Just those
like
two.
Oh, okay.
Someday
should've
My
just-
Prince Will Come was axed.
They should have brought all the songs from the original into this movie. They use? I never saw Beauty and the Beast, the remake. Did they use the same songs from the Beauty and the Beast that they put in this Beauty and the Beast, Laura?
Yeah.
most of them. Yes.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they do that with Snow White? Just bring
Because
the
they
songs-
changed the story. The story wasn't about her finding true love. The story was about her being princess savior.
Do you think Disney looked at Snow White 1937, which I looked online? Disney Snow White made the most money, and it built Disney Studios in Burbank. That's the.
Mhm.
It was built by Snow White.
Sure.
Do you think they looked at that and said, we can't release this in 2025? It's too racial. We can't say she's white, so they had to change it up some because
Yes.
they were scared of the racial. Did they
Yes.
change up Cinderella when they remade that one into a movie? I don't think so. Did they? They changed up Aladdin. Did they,
They
change
changed
up?
it a little bit.
They did a little bit. Well, they put Will Smith as a
So-
genie and not Robin Williams. Which imagine if they had put Robin Williams as a genie, it would have been
Right.
amazing.
It
Well,
would've
if he
been
was
amazing.
dead, that would have been weird.
I mean, if he had lived.
Okay. I was like,
Not-
wait a second.
We're not propping his dead body up and
The ghost of Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, I have one wish. I want to live.
I think they just try to update it so that it felt fresh and new. Because they're really into this girl power, like Star Wars. That was just girls can do anything, boys can do, but better and faster and better.
I poop
Which-
every day and it's fresh and new, but it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, that is true, Jacob. Truer words have never been
tagline-
spoken.
The tagline of Jacob's biography.
I poop every day and it's fresh, but it doesn't mean it's good. I don't like this movie. For one, was made in 2023. I think it was made like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
they pushed
yeah.
it out a year.
Because they
Yeah.
had to add the dwarves in after people started
Yeah.
crying, going, "We're gonna have our dwarves." I don't know. This is probably the end of the woke Disney. It has to be. Disney cannot go woke. They're gonna have to throttle it back, right?
They're taking a big loss on this. Yeah.
But they'll earn it back with Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is going to win it back.
It will.
That movie looked way better than
Incredible.
But
I'm
my
a big-
wife said that it looked like it sucked.
I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan, and like I can't wait. I cried during the trailer. I'm so excited.
Jacob, did you cry during the Freakier Friday trailer?
He
No.
did. He was like, "Yes, it's happening again."
I told
Just
him.
see the Freakier Friday trailer on
Only
ours.
freakier.
I told Minnesota Gary, we've done that on Movie Torture. He goes, I like that movie. And I said, we did it on Movie Torture. And I have something to bring up about that. I feel like Lindsay Lohan 5 years ago looked really rough and did not look like Lindsay Lohan. She must have reversed some of her surgeries because she looked like a really pretty Lindsay Lohan in Freakier Friday. And she looked like the Lindsay Lohan from Freaky Friday, but not like the one that's like been weird in the last 20 years.
Sure.
the Botox
Yeah, she
went
didn't want
away.
Botox.
Faded out. Yeah.
Yeah, she must have let the Botox go or something. I don't know. I want to see Freakier Friday, but and I want to see Lilo and Stitch. Kristen said it looked like it sucked, Laura, by the way.
We're going
Well,
to see
she
Lilo and
can't
Stitch.
come. She can't come then because I only need positivity and good vibes when I see Lilo and Stitch. So it might just be myself
Well, no, we'll go.
and my doll.
Are you going to take your doll with you?
I will
Jacob,
dress. I will
Jacob,
dress
are you
up.
going to let her take the doll with her? You're going to.
No.
I'm gonna no, because I was Lilo for Halloween. I am going to wear that dress.
Oh, will you please dress up and carry the doll to the movies with Jacob?
Yes. Yes.
I gotta see
I
this. I want to see
that and
this.
the Stitch. Yes, I will totally do that.
He will
Yes.
look like your caretaker.
Brad, I'm making you come with.
Well, that's
No.
okay.
Yes.
You can take Minnesota Gary and he can record it all.
Okay.
Which is fine because I was born in Hawaii, so it's not cultural appropriation. I am Hawaiian, so
You were born in Hawaii?
yeah.
Just because
I
you
didn't know that.
Hawaii does not make
Yeah.
you Hawaiian.
Yes, it does.
Do we have to go 20 minutes ago about fair skin? You talk about how you're the fairest skin
Jacob.
of all, and you're gonna. I don't think so.
I'm sorry. I don't know what else to call it.
Do you want us to call you Lilo from now on? Is that the like?
No, but my middle name was going to be Leilani.
Oh,
My name
Leilani.
was going to be Bonnie Leilani.
Oh my gosh, Bonnie Leilani Shakur. Oh my gosh, that's like a made-up name.
He's bringing the draw me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, back to this turd.
Anywho,
So she now does something that is unbelievable in the real world. She comes in, breaks into a house, falls asleep, probably gets the best sleep she's had in a while. And the dwarves come in. They're scared of her. They find out she's a human. They like her now. And then she says y'all boys need to get to cleaning, and I'm going to give you a broom. And it's the opposite of the grateful and thankful Snow White of 1937, who teaches them how to clean and sings the song "Whistle While You Work" while she does the cleaning, right?
No, they clean. They clean with her.
Well, she ain't helping in this
she
one.
cleans in the movie, in the cartoon. She's cleaning
The
for
original,
them.
she cleans.
So are they, though. They're
But she
cleaning as
doesn't-
well.
She doesn't do anything in this movie, but
No,
tell
she
them.
bosses them around.
Yeah, but she broke into their house. If somebody broke
Yeah.
into my house and then said, "Here's a broom, get to cleaning," I'd be like, "How about you get to stepping?"
It's
But here's
not up
what's
to my standards.
Here's what's
I was
funny.
like, "I don't care."
How are you going to get freaked out, right? You break in these people's houses, you're sleeping in their bed, and then you're freaked out when they wake you up and you're spooked because, you know, the people who live there are like, why are you in my house?
Yeah, we should try that. Okay, let's movie torture cast. Go just pick a random house and let's go in it one night and go to sleep.
Yeah?
See who gets shot. That would have been awesome if they had a gun and just blew her away right there.
And they leave,
They become yellow jackets. They start eating her.
poor Dopey in there to die. They're just like,
If anybody's gonna die, it's gonna be the moron who doesn't speak. Okay, of the movie torture cast, who's who of the dwarves?
oh,
Roger has to be Doc, right?
yeah, I would give Doc to Roger.
I don't know if we have a grumpy. Gary could be grumpy. Producer Gary.
Laura could be grumpy.
Oh,
could be
Lars,
grumpy.
Lars grumpy.
Yes.
He's
I
not
could be
grumpy,
grumpy.
just misunderstood.
Who are the other ones?
Brad's bashful.
No, Minnesota Gary. Minnesota Gary's bashful.
I could be sleepy, bashful, dopey.
I'm probably sleepy because I can fall asleep anywhere, anytime. Who we got? Happy.
Sneezy, happy.
I'm happy.
Who's
Jacob is
MTD?
happy.
Wait. MTD is Doc.
Yeah, MTD's Doc. I'm happy.
MTD is Doc. You're happy. Roger is
Dopey.
no. Gary's got to be dopey.
Yeah, Gary's Dopey.
Producer Gary is dopey. Minnesota Gary's bashful. Hannah is. I don't know who Hannah would be. Who would Hannah be? I don't know all of the.
Who do we got left? Well, I think we named.
So you've got Doc, bashful, happy, sneezy, sleepy, grumpy, and Doc.
No, you said
I
Doc
think
twice.
Oh,
We're missing
twice.
one.
Dopey.
Did you say dopey?
dopey,
There you go.
Okay.
bash, yeah.
So who's Sneezy?
Sneezy would either be Ashley or Hannah. That's the. I would like to see one with the movie Torture Cast as the dwarves, though. That would be pretty cool.
Ashley would insist on being Snow White, though,
Oh, she would. She'd be like, "I'm gonna be Snow White."
or the evil queen.
Wait, no, Hannah or Ashley are the evil queen in Snow White.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Jonathan's got to be Trent. Trent can be Sneezy.
The Cheeto Cane.
Cheetah King. Chester Cheetah is our sneeze. Look at Minnesota Gary yawning right now. Are we boring you, Gary?
I'm just
Want
sleepy.
to play a game, Gary?
Would you like to play a game? Have you ever kissed a dwarf? Especially a CGI dwarf.
Just my mom.
Ashley is fair. Yeah, Ashley would be the fair. Hannah's pretty fair skinned too, though. But we're going to give it to Ashley because she has dark hair.
Yeah.
So that means Hannah is Gal Gadot in this movie, wanting to be Ashley.
And we do have to touch real quick on this because it would be amiss if we did not. That these AI dwarfs are there because originally they casted these band of crew to be the dwarves. And then, like you said, everybody was up in arms about it. And so they had to rewrite the movie to fix it all.
Better, I told you this yesterday, better movie if they had the dwarfs in the movie, but they brought you the animated dwarfs that look like the ones from 1937. And she can see them. And
Yeah.
they're dwarfing around. That would bring us back to our childhood of seeing what Dopey really looked like. You know, the Dopey.
Like she goes down the hole, like it's real life. I'm telling you, she goes
And
down the
everything
hole.
is animated.
Cartoon. Yeah, it goes to animated cartoon. That'd be cool. That would
That would have been the best. They would have saved money, and people like Snow White purists would have enjoyed that. Laura's looking at me like that's a dumb idea.
So Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes,
Yes.
which is a way better movie than this.
Way better movie. Way
Yes.
better movie.
I seen a
Yeah.
funny clip online I have to mention. So, like, fast forwarding a little bit, we know Snow White's story. She eats the apple. She goes night-night. And she has to be true love's kiss to get through. I seen a funny clip where he walks up, she's asleep, and he's getting ready to kiss. She goes, in this school, but because we make this fun with MTL, he's like, wait, I must get consent. Snow White, may I kiss you? And she can't answer because she's passed out.
You always need consent from these broads.
So he leans over and he's like, yes, Snow White, you can kiss me.
Oh, that would have been so funny. Get consent from the broads. Can I kiss you? Yes, you can kiss me. He didn't even kiss her on the lips. Like, I'm like going full lip if I'm him, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
He half
he
half
side
of it.
kissed her like a mother kisses a son.
He didn't have consent.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, she was a social justice warrior, so she would stand up and go, you Me Too'd me. Oh, that'd be hilarious if Snow White had a Me Too on this guy.
She ends up taking the kingdom back, right? And then she remembers this and arrests him for, I know you brought me back, but you're going to jail.
He's the Harvey Weinstein of the forest. You did crazy things to me. I just kissed you. I saved your life. You didn't save anything.
There were 7 witnesses. Oh, you brought your friends to watch you assault me. Yeah.
Yeah. As she now has a purple streak in her hair. She's like short hair, spike, and she drives a Subaru. Oh my god.
Oh.
The call of the kingdom.
She's like, now the Subaru. That's what everybody drives. She sends the huntsman out in the Subaru. This would be a better movie. I want to see this.
So what was the point of her? I mean, other than it's the story, but I mean, like, what was the point of her even getting the apple and going to sleep? Because she was asleep for what? A scene?
Yeah.
2 scenes? Like,
I mean,
you blink, you missed it.
Those doors fell in love with her in just like a matter of hours.
If Jacob doesn't mourn my death like that, where he has me on a rock for 2 days, just lamenting over my death.
The other thing, too, why did they have her in this movie? Why did they have her approach the town when she's about to go back over like Red Riding Hood? That was weird to me.
I know. She was
Yeah.
in that red. I don't know. It was real. The whole thing was, and then it's like they looked at her and they're like, oh, that's Snow White. And that one girl that we're supposed to care about from the beginning scene, I guess that's her
Yeah.
older. She does the
Yes.
same thing again, puts the crown on. She just
Yeah.
did she carry that crown every day, waiting on Snow White to walk through the gates?
100%.
Yes.
She must have.
Yes.
Honey, you got the crown.
That's all
I got
she
the
had.
crown. I have the crown in case. Everybody, she comes
She's
in.
got it on her arm doing all her work.
I sure miss her pies.
So she comes in. How does Snow White know everyone's name, by the way? She's like, Mark, you used to pitch tents and fish. Jerry, you liked fantasy football.
We did a bracket together last year.
Brad, you're a podcaster. Remember, I came on. Really?
Well, she was working as a maid in the castle. So, like, they were her coworkers, essentially.
I guess.
Yeah, but she's talking about what they used to do. She knew all their.
Yeah, how would they weren't talking about that stuff in the walls. They were like, remember when we used to have the whole town over? No.
She's like, Donnie, I know you drink the Bud Light.
Well, and in all fairness, it looked like there were maybe like 3 or 4 dozen people in her town. Like, it wasn't a big kingdom. They all fit in her yard.
Minnesota Gary, you like young girls. Remember that? Oh my gosh.
I think what made this funny too
Within age, 18 and up.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep it
actress,
safe.
the Snow White actress, as she, was talking about how she's not saved by a man in this movie, and I'm like, you were saved 4 times in this movie by men.
The dwarves are all men.
They saved you. The guy had to kiss you to wake you up. The little dwarf guy finally got his crossbow and stopped you from being shanked. Like they were saving you left and right.
Prince Charming took an arrow for her.
That's right.
Yeah, that was stupid. And
So, if her parents were alive, do you think they would have been disappointed that she married an out of work actor who turned
Yes.
to thievery?
Yes.
They'd be
Yes.
like, could have done better.
Than this.
so
We
many-
taught you, Snow
there's
White.
so many jokes I want to make now that I can't. But, all fair, maybe. But there, I didn't even. Laura caught that and told me about it. I didn't even catch the scene that he was an out of work actor. I'm gonna ask my wife when I go upstairs in a minute if she remembers that. She's like, she's probably gonna say, "I was all I could do to stay awake in this movie." So, I loved watching a movie where $600 billion or $1 million were just burning as I was watching this in flames. Like this.
Yes.
So the ending death of Gal Gadot is so stupid. Like I don't even. It was like we just got to kill her off really fast. So we'll just suck her into the mirror.
Yeah.
Does that put the mirror guy out of a job? By the way, is he gone or what?
I mean, he can tell Snow White how fair she is.
Why does she care? Like she wants to make sure everyone gets the right amount of food, and Jacob, this is the rise of the Beautician and the Beast. She's going to create a communistic country where they have to rely on her now. She is the Fran Drescher. Oh, they could have cast Fran Drescher, a young one, by the way. She would have been, I'm the Snow White. She would have been
the fairest.
Isn't that the beginning of Beautician and the Beast? Is she's pretending to be Snow White? It's that cartoon where she was Snow White.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So this is the prequel to Beautician and the Beast. This is what happens before
her origin story.
She takes over as the communist leader when she shanks the James Bond, Timothy Dalton, because that's happening. Yeah. I like how we bring it back to Beautician and the Beast. I don't even want to read reviews on this because they're all bad. Nobody's saying anything good about this movie.
I have a funny one though. I got to read one funny one.
Okay, read.
It's a negative review. Clearly, it says the only thing Snow White about this is the stuff that producers were sniffing.
Oh, that's a
spot on.
Jacob in Minnesota says.
Let me see if I can find. Oh, here's an 8-star out of 10 on IMDb. I thoroughly enjoyed. Went in skeptical. Casting was fine and well acted. I enjoyed the new song. This has to be someone. This has to be someone on the staff because there's nobody saying that, right? Like the music. This person gave it a 9. My 6-year-old loved it. So did my 12-year-old. It's just simple Disney. I enjoyed it and didn't drift off. So that's praise for me. I thought the dwarves were funny, but I think Disney couldn't win whatever they did. I did sit there waiting for a battle. It's a kid's film for little girls to learn that being brave and they can be heroes. It's what Disney is. What's
there? It's a film for little girls.
But question:
you can be a hero by cooking me dinner. That's the thing.
Could. Question:
Poor Kristen.
Do you think this movie takes as much flack as it did if all the outside stuff didn't happen?
No, I don't. I think if Rachel Zegler was sweet and wasn't like a hard was grating on your soul, I think if she was very sweet, I think this movie does pretty good, not great.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I think the honest score would be about a 5.6 on IMDb out of 10.
I'd agree with you.
Yeah, I think, but because of her, I think they tanked it. And
I still think it was the worst of the remakes. Worst of the live action remakes.
I can't judge. I haven't seen a lot of the remakes, but I'll say this. Ashley brought this up to me on a phone call. She thinks the best thing Disney could have done was write this movie off as a tax write-off and never release it. Because then they would never get the flag. Nobody'd ever see it, and they could make money back. They could at least write it off on their taxes. And then if they didn't do that, send it to Disney Plus. That way you can't do box office for it. You don't know who's watching it, and they don't have to report it. Right. And you don't know if it sucks or not to people. You don't know if 1 million people are tuned in or 10. Yeah. So they made a mistake. But I give Disney credit. They fell on the sword, man. They're like, we're going to release this regardless. We know it's going to bomb, but you know what? Let's just get it out there and be done with it. And they probably never – I was thinking to myself watching this movie, could there ever be a Snow White remake? Would Disney ever do another Snow White remake to make it better? I don't think we'll ever see it in our lifetime.
No.
I think it's over. I think that's the last remake that we'll ever see of Snow White in our lifetime.
Did we really need it in the first place anyways?
We didn't need it. No. But, you know, Minnesota Gary, movie torture, movie gold.
I'm gonna have to go movie torture.
Laura, movie torture, movie gold.
I give it bronze. I mean, it was not terrible, but it wasn't. It was fine for what it was. I mean, if you were a fan of Snow White, they redid a lot of the stuff that, the dopey eyes with the diamonds. They, did some service, I think, to the fans, but it wasn't. I wouldn't want to watch it again. But it wasn't made for a 40-year-old woman. It was made for a 6-year-old little girl. I think as a 6-year-old little girl, I probably would have liked it.
But you say that, but who would know this movie? Us adults.
Yeah, the 6-year-old girls are not watching the original Snow White. Parents are not turning
That's
that
why
on.
That's why they needed their own Snow White.
I think they would have been better just to release an updated cartoon CGI of Snow White, just like the original, for the kids to be able to experience it again.
You can rate it whatever you want, Brad, but I gave it a bronze.
Oh my God!
Girl power.
Movie torture, movie gold.
This
to
is
disagree.
movie gold. No, it's kidding. It's movie torture. It's terrible.
I am shocked
Movie torture.
that 5 of us. I thought we'd have a clean sweep on movie torture. I am shocked that Laura said movie bronze. This movie's movie torture. It's in the top 10 worst movies I've seen this year. I've seen on movie torture. I've seen some bad
MTV, please
ones.
run to watch this.
MTV, please do not go watch this. You will look creepy in there, first off. And 2, y'all know my stance. If you listen to the show, I don't like musicals. So song after song was just like horrible for me. I never want to watch this
wasn't good.
movie again. I don't
Wasn't good
ever
music.
want to see a Rachel Zegler movie again. Honestly, I don't want to see her in a movie again. I'll be happy if I never see her in a movie again. And I felt bad for the co-star. I felt bad for Gal Gadot and the thief, because his career will be tarnished when he has to put Snow White on his resume. I think, and hers will be, Gal Gadot's will too. They'll be like, yeah, but you were in that disaster
Right.
of a movie.
They'll make another Fast and the Furious for her.
There we go.
Revive her.
No, real quick, how have we never done a Fast and the Furious on movie torture?
We need to.
Because they're all gold.
Oh, they're not. We got to do one with Minnesota Gary. We got to.
I like those movies.
Or we can
Oh.
do a branch off the Hobbs and Shaw.
I tell you why we've never really done. Those movies are 2.5 hours a lot of times.
That's true. That breaks Brad's code.
And it breaks my code, man. I don't want to sit 2.5 hours and watch garbage.
Too fast. Too furious.
Oh, we should do that one.
Maybe
The
the
second or
first 2 are
third
a
one.
little shorter.
Hmm?
The first 2 are probably shorter.
Yeah, we need to do shorter ones, or we could do that like Need for Speed or something like that's.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, for Minnesota Gary, for Laura, for Jacob, for MTD, my name is Brad. We'll see you next week on Movie Torture.
Bye.
Okay. Hold on.
Is it recording?
No, stop. I was gonna say, I was gonna make a bad joke. I was gonna be like, "What was you saying, Laura, about